SCP-3139. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. The original tape on which SCP-3139-1 is stored can be found in Containment Locker 017 on the uppermost floor of Site-882. Access to the locker requires Level 2 clearance and written authorization for testing from the Site Supervisor. SCP number 3139, as well as all materials produced during testing, must be returned to the locker at the test's conclusion. Digital copies of SCP-3139-1 can be found on the SCP-3931 directory on Site-882's intranet. Viewing requires Level 2 security credentials. Description: SCP-3139 is an unmarked VHS tape manufactured by Kipper Media Inc. sometime in the 80s. The tape itself is non-anomalous with no distinctive features, save for minor damage on the corner consistent with exposure to fire. SCP-3139 functions with all standard VHS equipment and can be transmitted to digital formats without damaging the contents of the original tape. Attempts to record new footage onto SCP-3139 has invariably failed. New footage is simply ignored when the tape is played back. Digital copies do not trigger SCP-3139's anomalous properties. SCP-3139-1 refers to the contents on the tape itself, a continuous video approximately 45 minutes in length recorded by a handheld camera. The presentation and format of the video suggests that it was created for a game show, referred to as America's Labyrinth. No known records or footage of such a show exists in the United States broadcasting records. At the beginning and conclusion of the video, an unnamed host appears and provides exposition and explains the nature of the game to the audience. Multiple individuals are heard laughing throughout the tape, suggesting it was either filmed in front of or presented to a live audience. The exact events in the video differ each time it is viewed, but some constraints are present, notably the appearance of the host, the structure in which the individual filming is exploring, and the existence of an unknown humanoid entity, designated SCP-3139-1A. Throughout the tape, SCP-3139-1A will stalk and pursue the camera operator, designated SCP-3139-1B, appearing behind objects in the background or suddenly emerging from behind corners. The identity of SCP-3139-1B changes each time the tape is viewed, and see Addendum 2. Should SCP-3139-A physically touch SCP-3139-B at any time, the tape will immediately cut to footage of the host speaking to the audience before fading to black. Should SCP-3139-1B escape the structure, they will appear next to the host in the studio and receive a random prize before the tape cuts to black. Attempts to identify the host or any other individuals in the audience has generally failed, with some exceptions, see Addendum 2. The structure depicted in the footage has yet to be located by the Foundation, and is speculated to be a construct of the anomaly itself. Individual tasks with viewing SCP-3139-1 report feeling unease and paranoia, though this is believed to be due to the nature of the footage, and not the anomalous effect. Further research into the nature of SCP-3139-1 is ongoing. Addendum 1. Document 3139.01. Item Number: SCP-3139-1A. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. As SCP-3139-1A is a component of SCP-3139-1, and thus SCP-3139, all existing containment procedures for SCP-3139 apply. Description: SCP-3139-A1 designates the unidentified humanoid entity depicting stalking SCP-3139-1B. Superficially, the subject appears to be tall, slightly muscular, Caucasian, in a black garb with a white rabbit mask. The host of SCP-3139-1, as well as the audience members, colloquially referred to as SCP-3139-A as Chomper, to discuss him in a tone that suggests affection or familiarity. Attempts to identify SCP-3139-1A has thus proven futile. If SCP-3139-1A's mask is removed for any reason, the entity will immediately cover its face and retreat to a secluded area in a state of considerable distress. The sole purpose of SCP-3139-1A appears to be to capture and of SCP-3139-1B. See Addendum 2 for further information on the latter. Should the entity accomplish this, they will be met with a large amount of applause from the audience and commendation from the host. Failure induces booing, death threats, and other severe forms of jeering, along with the host introducing SCP-3139-1A to sit in timeout. Excluding the aforementioned reaction to the removal of the mask, SCP-3139-1A never exhibits any behavioral reaction or emotion in events to SCP-3139-1, nor does it speak in any intelligible language. SCP-3139-1A appears to age in real time. White hairs are visible on the back of the subject. The fingernails appear considerably longer than at the time of SCP-3139's containment. Research personnel have speculated that SCP-3139-1 is subject to the laws of time and exists separately from our reality of our own. Further analysis of SCP-3139-1A and the nature of SCP-3139-1 is ongoing. Addendum 2. Document 3139.02. Item Number SCP-3139-1B. Object Class Pending Classification. Description: SCP-3139-1B refers to the contestant depicted in SCP-3139. The identity of the subject varies each viewing and appears inexorably linked to the viewer. Although the viewer themselves cannot become SCP-3139-1B, subjects observed thus far have included the following: the viewer's sibling, the viewer's mother, the viewer's father, the viewer's cousin, no more distant than second generation, the viewer's biological child, before and after their birth. The exact identity of SCP-3139-1B is generally of significance to the viewer, often described as being their favorite relative. All subjects are depicted as adults in SCP-3139-1. If the subject is not an adult in reality, their age will be artificially adjusted within the video. The host of SCP-3139-1 and all audience members are capable of referring to the subject by both their first and last names, though this is uncommon. SCP-3139-1B invariably appears to be in a considerable state of distress and expresses extreme terror or panic when confronted by SCP-3139-1A. Subjects will always attempt to escape the structure depicted in SCP-3139-1, though the intentionally confusing layout and constant pressure of SCP-3139-1A makes this difficult. Should SCP-3139-1B escape the structure, and subsequently the show, no further anomalous effects manifest. Individuals depicted in SCP-3139-1 as 3139-1B claim they have no knowledge of participating in the show or the existence of SCP-3139 when interviewed. However, when asked to view SCP-3139-1, they will vehemently refuse, often with extreme levels of aggression or panic. When provided with photographic evidence of their participation in SCP-3139-1, they will continue to issue denials, often accusing the individual providing them with the evidence of photo manipulation or attempting a prank. Should SCP-3139-1B be captured by SCP-3139-1A, they will cease to exist in reality. Saved for the viewer, individuals related to SCP-3139-B will claim they never existed, even when such existence is required for other relatives to have been born. SCP-3139-B will only appear as a member of the audience at this point, not appearing in any other capacity, in reality or otherwise. SCP-3139-1B from then on will generally appear content and entertained by the show, except if SCP-3139-1 is being viewed by a relative. If this occurs, SCP-3139-1B will exhibit psychological signs of panic and terror, often staring directly at the viewer through the camera. Some viewers have reported that SCP-3139-1B attempting to communicate with them, though this is inaudible over the music and the sound effects of SCP-3139-1. As of last viewing, the audience of SCP-3139 consists of 57 individuals. Viewers have described them as resembling everything from their parents to possessing general physical similarities, suggesting they are unborn children. In these instances, if the viewer attempts to bear a child or fertilize female eggs, the result will always fail despite showing no signs of clinical sterility. No known methods to counteract this are known. Addendum 3. Document 3139.03. The following is an example broadcast of SCP-3139-1, abridged for time. Viewer identified as D616. Hello, America, and welcome back to the cable's #1 game show, America's Labyrinth! Last time, our lucky contestant was less than lucky, let's just put it that way. This time, though, I have a good feeling. All the way from Los Angeles, California, it's a profile picture of an elderly man, approximately 60 to 70 years of age, appeared on the screen. Subject confirmed to be the relative of D616. Footage cuts to that of a handheld camera inside a maze-like concrete structure. Loud breathing is audible behind the camera. Camera operator designated SCP-3139-1B. Subject is running at a low speed through a hallway of the structure. Where are you running to, old man? First appearance of SCP-3139-1A. SCP-3139-1B turns a corner and is ambushed by the entity. Subject responds by fleeing in the opposite direction, obviously panicked and exasperated. Audience responds in an audible laugh. Loud footsteps are audible behind SCP-3139-1B. SCP-3139-1B finds a series of doors and opens one of them, finding an empty supply closet. He enters and locks the door from the inside. Footsteps are heard outside the door, but SCP-3139-1A is not seen. The audience audibly groans. Skip to 30 minutes. SCP-3139-1B exits the closet and quietly walks down the hallway. The audience applauds. Let's hear a round of applause for first of his age bracket to last this long. Gotta hand it to him. He's still got a swagger in his step. SCP-3139-1B approaches the end of the hallway, but stops upon hearing unusual noises from the door to his right. Suddenly, SCP-3139-1A kicks down the aforementioned door and begins sprinting towards SCP-3139-1B, emitting a previously unheard high-pitched shriek. In a panic, SCP-3139-1B drops the camera, though footsteps indicate he continues to run. A scream is heard, followed by loud impact noises, before the camera cuts to black. Tape cuts to footage of the host staring at the camera. This continues for nearly 7 minutes until he speaks. We claimed another one. We claimed another one. Glorious Predator, your are delicious. 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 Delicious.